Democrat presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. claimed that President Biden's mobilization of troops to support Operation Atlantic Resolve is preparation for a ground war with Russia. Kennedy reacted to Biden's decision to call up thousands of military reservists to bolster U.S. troops in Europe as part of the 2014 operation. President Biden just called up 3,000 reservists to augment U.S. troops in Europe as part of Operation Atlantic Resolve, Kennedy tweeted on Friday. "I want people to understand what this troop mobilization is about," he continued. "It's about preparing for a ground war with Russia." On Thursday, Biden announced that his administration is mustering reserve troops to ensure the effective conduct of Operation Atlantic Resolve in and around the United States European Command's area of responsibility. The president is calling up 3,000 reserve troops from the selected and individual ready reserves, with no more than 450 from the individual ready reserve. Biden's troop augmentation comes while the president is overseas for the NATO conference. Republicans blasted President Biden's decision to call up thousands of armed forces reserve members to bolster the troops for the effective conduct of a military operation. "This is reckless and dangerous," Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz tweeted. "I want to see Putin defeated, but under no circumstances should U.S. servicemen and women be sent to fight in Ukraine. Biden's weakness started this war, and now he's threatening to put our military in a shooting war with Russia," Cruz added. GOP Utah Senator Mike Lee weighed in on the president's European mobilization in a Twitter thread, warning the move is daring Russia to shoot first. "I've been trying to figure out what this means. Bottom line up front, President Biden is arguably walking the U.S. up to the line of war and daring Russia to shoot first," Lee wrote. Lee noted that Operation Atlantic Resolve has been ongoing since 2014 and that under U.S. law, Biden can only augment troops in named operations for up to a full year. Open-source information on Operation Atlantic Resolve from DoD does not suggest any forces are present in Ukraine under this mission, Lee wrote. Since conflict with Russia and Ukraine came to blows in 2014, rotational deployments under Atlantic Resolve have been considered a backbone of deterring Russia from crossing NATO's eastern flank. Lee also warned that the active duty activation and deployment of these additional forces is a dangerous provocation, knowing full well NATO's eastern flank is adjacent to active hostilities. President Biden did the same thing at the beginning of the war in Ukraine in 2022, massively increasing our active duty force presence when we knew hostilities were imminent. But now it's even more risky because hostilities are active. Not only does this run the risk of further locking us into supporting Ukraine, now the military-industrial complex will say the U.S. military presence is the one thing preventing Russia from crossing NATO's eastern border, and that we have to maintain such presence indefinitely.